So let's use the things we've learned to try to see how we can multiply fractions. Let's do some easy example. Okay, so how would you show that, or what is 2 over 7 times 3? Okay, so I want to show you that this is actually the same as just timesing 3 by 2, and it's equal to 6 over 7. But since we've already defined a fraction, and we've defined multiplication, this will be actually a consequence of those two things as opposed to a new rule. Okay, so this is going to be equal to 6 over 7. And the way we get that is we imagine if we times this by 7. So if we times this by 7, right, then we get 2 over 7 times, and the 7 and the 3's can change places. And we said before that the 7's cancel here, because whenever it's 2 divided by 7 and times by 7, you get back 2. So that'll equal 2 times 3. Okay, which is equal to 6. Now to undo this times by 7, we can divide by 7. So we have 2 over 7 times 3 times 7 divided by 7. Another way of saying that is 2 over 7 times 3 times 7 times 1 over 7 equals 6 times 1 over 7. 6 over 7. And then here we have the 7 times 1 over 7 gives you 1. And that just leaves the original 2 over 7 times 3. So can you see that that gives you that a fraction? So the kind of rule we want to extrapolate is that a number times a fraction, so on the right, will be equal to just simply timesing the top number. The next thing I want to show you is what happens if you times by a reciprocal. So instead of having 2 over 7 times 3, you have 2 over 7 times 1 over 3. Okay, which we know it's the same as dividing this number by 3 again. Okay, so let's use the definitions of these fractions. So if we times this by 3, we know this will cancel with that 3 and get a 1. And if we times it by 7, we know that that will cancel with this 7 to give a 2. So the whole thing will just end up being 2. Okay, so now let's multiply these things together. So 2 over 7 times 1 over 3 times 21 is equal to 2. So now we can divide by 21. So 2 over 7 times 1 over 3 times 21 divided by 21 equals 2 divided by 21. So now, another way to write this is 2 over 7 times 1 over 3 times 21 times 1 over 21 is equal to 2 times 1 over 21. This cancels to 1. So what's on the left is just 2 over 7 times 1 over 3. And what's on the right is just 2 over 21. So you notice if you times a fraction by a reciprocal, then you simply multiply the bottom numbers together to get the bottom number of the answer. Okay, and we can use this now with the other one to figure out how to multiply two fractions together. So say you had like 2 over 7 times 3 over 5. So that's actually the same as 2 over 7 times 3 times 1 over 5. And so we know what to do with these now. So we know that this becomes 6 over 7 times 1 over 5. And we know that when you have this situation, it becomes 6 over 35. So 6 over the product of these two numbers. So in general, when you have a fraction and you have multiplication, you just multiply the top to get the top of the answer and the bottom to get the bottom of the answer.